just sort of run out of energy.
Sally, shut up. Pay attention.
Oh, look.
Good job, thanks. For that.
Right, you've got it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I immediately thought
The,
exactly what you said.
screen wasn't changed.
Right, yes,
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, so,
I don't know if
so
you
it
made
was
that
staying
up,
on
but
the
it
first
was
slide, but that one was changed.
Ah.
So I had to...
Sorry, for those who don't know, this is Belinda from Toitu Envirocare. You probably know her better than I do, but it's my job to introduce her. So thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for joining the Foundation Partner cohort. That was very helpful for all of us. And please let us know about the opportunities in carbon management.
Will do. So I know I'm pretty much speaking to the converted, and I know that a number of you were at our launch event a week or two ago.
Excuse me, 2 seconds. I'm just going to move that.
Don't move it too much.
No.
Okay,
I'll move it
move
back.
it back. That works.
It'll probably work.
So hopefully tonight the video that didn't work at our launch does work. Fingers crossed. So we were Enviromark Solutions. We've been reborn as Toitu Envirocare. And our mission is inspiring action for a sustainable low carbon economy. So much like all you energy people, we're all about the same thing really. And I'm GM Technical, so I drive the technical team. Possibly drive them mad, but that's okay. But that's about half our company. So 18 months ago, there were 18 of us. By beginning of January, there'll be over 40, so we're growing pretty quickly, which is exciting, but somewhat daunting at the same time. So we are owned by Manaki Whenua Landcare Research, and therefore owned by the New Zealand government. We've been, it says over a decade, well over a decade really. The program's really started in the early 2000s and have been operating since sort of 2007, 2008 quite strongly. And energy not so much now actually. We own and operate mostly carbon and environmental management system programs and do a bunch of other things too. So this slide, or the logos here are some of our partners, things that we've signed up to, or things that we've been accredited by. So sort of partners over this side and accreditations and things on the other side. So lots going on. Working all.
Oh.
I think I've
Back one.
going. Right, so now this is my challenge. Make sure, see if the video works.
Does it need internet connection?
No, it should be embedded.
There we go.
Have we got sound on?
Maybe not.
Where's the TV
Yeah,
remote?
we can have it without the sound anyway. It's got some lovely backing, but would you like rather pause and turn the volume on?
Where's my wife? She'll have the remote.
We left her at home.
I think it's on the TV that you need to turn it up. Aha!
Hold fast to all life.
Didn't quite start from the beginning.
Toitu is to sustain holistically, to sustain continually. It is our name and our commitment. We are here to make sustainability a natural part of how you work, pairing passion with proof and ambition with action. Providing a pathway for businesses to make positive change. And be recognized for it. Toitu is a collective. Together, we can build momentum, stand out, inspire hope, and lead the way toward a more sustainable world. Together, we can enrich the life of this place, our people, and our future. Toitu, together.
Oh, that's nice and nice.
the first bit of the sound, but it's okay. So we really made, I guess, probably close to a year ago, we made a decision that it was time to kind of change our image. Partly we kind of always struggled with Enviromark Solutions as a name because Enviromark was one of our programs and it was our company name, and we did carbon, and it was all kind of a bit mixed up there. So there was a decision to try and link our brand with our parent better, link our brand with our values better, and link our brands together better, I guess, as well. So after a long process, I don't know whether any of you have been through a branding process, but as an engineer, I kind of struggled with it just a little bit. Yes, you have.
We have.
It's rebrand time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like everybody's rebranded in the last month.
Yeah.
Weird. So we came up with Toitu Envirocare. We're aiming to be just known as Toitu, really. It's very hard to get the approval to just use a single Māori word as a company name. So we are Toitu Envirocare, and we have our Enviromark, we have Carbon Zero, and we have what was CMARS is now Carbon Reduce, which is actually meaningful more to most organisations, most people, than CMARS was. So, as it says, we're here to lead and guide positive change for a better environment and a low carbon economy. So that's what we're all about. We've got amazing clients. I've got a few slides about our amazing clients. These are our top 10 reducers. You can see there's some themes going on there. There's health boards, there's councils, and there's a few other organisations there around the reductions that they've made. MOTAT's always a bit of a surprise to me. Bit of a weird one. I can't remember how they made their reduction, but they changed something major.
Lots of solar. Put stacks of solar up on their roof.
Is that what it was? Right. So those ones together made an average 28% reduction from their base year, which is pretty impressive. Overall, we've verified around 200 million tonnes of carbon dioxide equivalent. Our clients, combined over the time they've been in our programs, have reduced their emissions by 9 million tonnes, and we've had 1 million tonnes offset over the life of our programs, which is pretty amazing, really. That's a lot. So Auckland Airport, I won't read the quote, but they've been a client for a long time. They've done some really good things and continue to. Had some staff changes, which has brought some different people up to speed with the process. Snowberry is one of our product clients, and they're doing really cool things too, both on the reduction side but also on the sequestration side of things. So they've reduced their emissions by 75%, which is amazing. They won one of our awards.
What does Snowberry do, sorry?
Sorry, Snowberry makes cosmetics and skin care products, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Waste management, most of you will know about them, but they've done some really good things too. And one of the things that they've done was really dig into how do we best measure our emissions. Just using the standard calculations and standard assumptions and those sorts of things, wasn't going to be ideal for them for a bunch of reasons. But they really wanted to do it right, and they wanted to take responsibility for their emissions. So, and they're doing some really good things, as you'll know, around electric vehicles and a bunch of other things. New Zealand Post, and they are about to do a whole lot of offsetting too of some of their delivery work, I believe. Might be confidential. You won't tell me. But they're doing a lot around EVs, and we've all seen the Paxters that just look like Postman Pat. But they're one of our favourite clients. And Anglian Water out of the UK. Some of you would have seen David Riley when he came to New Zealand last year, year before, whenever it was. And they've really kind of changed some thinking about the way they do projects and the way they think about capitals, and the embodied emissions and what they do and those sorts of things, and really avoiding carbon altogether and getting away from concrete and doing all that sort of stuff. And they're a real advocate for us in the UK, where we've got 50 or 60 clients. So working together, we really want to work together. We can't do it by ourselves. We all know how much opportunity is out there. And that's why we became foundation partner, because we really want to see the capacity in this space grow. We could do this and say we want it all, we want to keep it for ourselves, but that doesn't do New Zealand as much good as as we want to. We're all about impact. Training opportunities. We did an introduction to CMARS, which we're now going to have to rebrand and rename. In July, we're looking at potentially doing another one down here sometime early-ish in the new year. Just got to pin down details and get some people to come along, make sure we've got enough numbers. We think that there's some really good opportunities for members of CEP to be supporting organisations to become certified. So again, we are really struggling internally to manage the growth in the opportunity. So we've got, we're getting new clients just about every day. We've got, I think, 6 full-time account managers, but they're pretty much generalists. So they don't really necessarily have the knowledge to provide, detailed advice to manufacturing organisations or organisations with special needs in their reduction. So you guys have that knowledge in a lot of different spaces that we don't. You also aren't hamstrung by accreditation in the same way we are. So we can't measure and, we can't do the work and then audit it. We can't tell them how to reduce their emissions and then audit it and say, you've done a good job of coming up with that plan, and those sorts of things. So we're really keen to be working with organisations and people that know stuff, that are like-minded and will do a good job for those clients. So we're working out at the moment what that looks like in terms of whether organisations have got clients already that they want to bring to the certification, but they do all the the support on the way through and those sorts of things, or whether they want to do the audit themselves, which is very different to an energy audit, but that might be an area of interest for some members as well. So we wouldn't be giving you the audit and the support for the same client, because it gives you the impartiality issues, not us. But we take responsibility for it. So, and then supporting organisations to reduce their emissions, helping them with their plans, helping them really come up with something that's going to work for them. So there's loads of opportunities for us to be working together. We're exploring how that is best structured. We do have to make sure that we're not getting in trouble with our accreditation, because there's a tricky line in one of our standards that says we're not allowed to say that it's going to be quicker, cheaper or easier to become certified if you use a particular consultancy organisation. But I'm sure we can get around that. So you're really keen to kind of hear from all the members to see what's going to work. We're keen to provide more training, as Mike will know, because he may have seen an email from us on Friday. So that's kind of the key stuff for me. Do get in touch if you've got questions or ideas or thoughts or those sorts of things. We've already met with a number of you and we kind of know most people in the room. So. But the door is open. I won't say the office door because we have an open plan, so we have no office doors. But really looking forward to working more closely with people, and really good to see some really long-term clients in the room too.
You were looking at me, Belinda.
I didn't say old. When did I first come and audit yours? I think it was 2011 or something. So yes, soon after the youth guides. So been working with in the health board and various other organisations for a long time. Not Pioneer at the moment, but we're planning to again.
Yeah, should be great.
So,
Sounds like a very positive.
Right then, thank you very much, Belinda. It falls to me